Hello guys, in today's episode we are going to install server 2012 OX and a client OX using a VirtualBox. So after the installations, I'll be adding some rules and features like Active Directory, the DHCP, DNS, and etc. I'll also create a new forest. I will set a domain name. I will also promote the Active Directory. I will configure DHCP, DNS, server, gateway, and etc. I will also add a client machine to the domain. And after adding the client machine to the domain, I will set the client machine to obtain IP address automatically from the server. So let me show you, or start with the materials, tools, or the softwares that I'm going to use for the installation. Okay, so I have I downloaded a VirtualBox 7.1.8. You can download same version or other version of your choice. I also have the images. I have the server 2012 image and I have the client image. I chose Windows 8 because it's faster when you are installing and it's not that heavy. Okay, you might also download VirtualBox guest additions and also the VirtualBox extensions depending on how you did your VirtualBox installation. So let's start with the installation of the VirtualBox. Okay. Okay, so let's add some features or extensions. So the first one is the VirtualBox application. I will choose will be installed on local drive. The next one, same. The next one, same. The next, same. And then the Python 2, same. When you are done, if you want to change the path where you want to do the installation, you can change it, but I will leave it in drive C. Then I will go to next. Yes, next, and then I will wait for it to install. Okay, so when the installation is done, you just have to click on the finish, and then you open the you go to desktop and then you open the icon. So let me go to desktop and then open the icon, the VirtualBox icon. Okay, so this is the interface for the VirtualBox. This is the interface for the VirtualBox. So let's begin quickly. Let's install the server first. So to begin with, we go to new here. We go to new here. Okay, so I wanted to use the pointer, but let's leave it and do it. So we go to new, or you come to machine, new, any of them will work. So now let's give the machine name. So server. So the name will be server. You can choose, you can go for any other name. Now the folder, you can choose the path where you want to put the VirtualBox. So I've created a folder in drive C document. That's where I want to put the path. So if you don't have enough space on drive C, you have an external drive, you can direct it to the external drive. So you just have to choose, go to this PC and then choose a drive. the external drive. Okay, now let's choose the ISO image. So the image, you click here and then you come to others, and then you have to search for where you save the images. Okay, so I have with me here the server. We are doing the server first, so I will double click on it. So if your image ISO, if your image is genuine, it will automatically select the type for you and then also select the version for you. Yeah, we are not going to I'm not going to use the unattended feature, so I'll click on the skip the hardware. So by default it's selected 2 gig. Let me maintain it. And the hard drive is selected 50 gig. Let me reduce it to 30 gig. Okay, so the 30 is okay. Now once you are done, you click on finish. Once you are done, you click on finish. One important setup that you have to also do is the network settings. But this one you can do it at any time. Even after the installations, you can do it. So the network we have to set by default is on NAT. So this one will pick, after the installation, it will pick the host network. Yeah, so it's this virtual adapter is attached to the RAN network of the host OS, as I said. So once you are done, you will see that if you have a network on the machine that you install the OS, the VirtualBox on, if you have a network, you will realize that right after the installation, you will see the network signal internet access, and because you left it at NAT. Yeah, but because you are coming to install two OS for the two machines to communicate, we have to select bridge adapter. So when you leave the mount, you said the virtual adapter is attached to the RAN network of the host OS. Okay, so you make sure that your cable connection is also thick, and then you click on OK. So right after that, you click on start. As for that settings, you can leave it. Right after the installations, you can do it. Yes, so when you click on settings, you see that it's loading here depending on the speed of your machine. So my machine, I'm using SSD and I'm using 8 gig RAM. So in less than 5 minutes I should be done with the installation. So depending on your machine size, depending on your specs of your machine, the worst should be 30 minutes. If it's more than 30 minutes, then there's something wrong. So it means that if you are doing practicals and it takes more than 30 minutes to do the installation, it means that you are going to spend enough time. So time your machine as you are doing the practicals. Time is so that you wouldn't go more than 30 minutes. As I said, with my PC, I use less than 5 minutes to do the installation for both the server and then the OS, the client OS. I use 5 minutes to do it. Okay, so let's begin with the installation. So I will go to next. You wait for it to load. Okay, so the version that I'm using, I'm getting these options because of this the server OS 2012 version that I'm using. So I have with me here the server core installation. I have the standard server with if I'm going to install just one server and then one client OS, so I have to go for the standard. If you are going to install like 5 servers and then let's say 10 or 15 client OS, then we have to select the data center. because if you select the standard, you can install more than 5 servers or 5 client OS. So if you know you're going to install more than 5, you're going to install more servers, then you have to select the data centers. They have the same features like this one, just that, as I said, this one will limit you with the installations, with the number of servers or client OS, number of machines that you want to set up. But this one will allow you, even if you want to install hundreds servers, it will allow you to do. But since we are doing just one OS and then one server, let me go for the standard with graphic user interface. Okay, so I will select it and then I will go to next. I will accept the license. So this one, I'm going to choose custom Windows install Windows only advanced, or the custom. I'm not going to upgrade anything, so I'll just click on it. Now this is the when we started the hard drive, I gave 30 gig, so this is the 30 here, so it's not formatted. Now you see that it's saying that unallocated, so we have to allocate it. So you click on new. This is when you want to partition the drive, but this side we are not going to partition in this drive, so let's leave the 30 gig. So you click on apply. Okay, so we are done with the drive formatting or the allocation. So you select the one that you want to install the Windows on. In case you did a partition, you select the one that you want to install the Windows on. So this is a reserve, so I'm going to install it here. I will just click on next. As I said, in less than 5 minutes my own will be done. So let's wait for 5 minutes and then we will continue. Yeah, so it's done with the installations and it's now the PC is now restarting. Yeah, it's restarting. Okay, so it has restarted, and then we've gotten to the settings, and it's now adding for a password. So the username is administrator. You can write it somewhere, and the password, you enter a password. Make sure you add special keys, the @ underscores. Yeah, you add them to the password. So let's type the password. And type any password of your choice. After that, you click on finish. Yeah, so when you after typing the password, you are done. When you install a server for the first time, this is how this is the lock screen. Always it locks. Yeah, so you have to use the Control or Delete. If you use the keyboard and it's not, so right now you see you have a host and then you've installed the VirtualBox. So if you hold your keyboard Control or Delete, sometimes it will rather load your machines. It will rather load your machine instead of the new installation that you've done, the new machine that you've created on the VirtualBox. So in that case, you can go to input at the top here and then keyboard, and then you click insert Control Alt Delete. You see, it has opened. Now I can enter the password that I just created. Okay, so we go. Yeah, so we are done with the installation of the setup. We have the server installation. We are done. We are done. And the server manager, this is the server manager. So in the beginning, I said I'm going to add some roles and features. Yes, so these are the roles and features. But before then, assuming that you are asked to you are asked to set a static IP or set the IP manually. By default, it's automatic, so you have to set it. In case you are told to set it manually, you have two options. The first option is to go to right click on the signal, select Open Network and Sharing Center. So when you get to when you open it, you just straight away click on Ethernet. Straight away you click on Ethernet. Yes, so if it was Windows 10, you have to go to change adapter option settings first before it comes here. But this is server 2012. It's open straight for you. Or you can use a command. So you click on Windows R and then you type ncpa.cpl and you hit on enter. That one will open straight away, so it will bypass all the Ethernet the settings, the first settings that we did straight here. So when you get here, you right click and then you go to properties. Then you go to Internet Protocol version 4, and then you set the IP address manually. So use the following IP address. So I'm going to use class C IP address. So I'm going for 192. I'm going for 192.168.0. Let's say 10. Yeah, the subnet mask to give you the class C subnet mask, and the gateway I'm going to use 192.168.0.1. And then I'm going to the DNS. I'm going to refer to the IP address. So 192.168.0.10. Yeah. Alternative IP, I can use 4.2.2.2, and then I will save. You are done. So if you are told to set up IP address manually, I use this IP address because my host PC is in that network, is using the same IP. So it's in the network. You see, I'm getting internet access. Yeah, because the IP address that I use, my PC, the host machine is 16. So 192.168.0.16, that's the host PC, and then the client, the one that I just installed for the server, is 10. So that's the reason why. So it means that I've added the server to the network. That's why I'm getting the IP and the network access here. But that's not what you are coming to do. This is just by the way. I showed you how to install how to set IP address manually. Yeah, so that's what we did. So we are going to begin with the rows. We are going to begin with the rows. So we go to add rules and features. So when you open the server manager, you come to the dashboard, add rules and features. You click on add rules and features. You go to next. So you choose role-based or features-based installation. Okay. Okay, one thing before we start with the, let me cancel it. Before we start with the installation, let me open the local server. So as you can see, I've not even set up the computer name. I've not set up the computer name. You can do it. You can set up the computer name. You don't see any domain here because we've not added it. You will not see anything here because we've not added it. So let's start with the what we were doing again. Okay. So you leave these settings like that. You go to next. Here I'm going to install the Active Directory domain service, and I'm going to install DHCP, and I'm going to install DNS. Depending on the features that we have to install, but for now let me install these three. So I will go to next. I will leave this one. I will install the net framework 4.5. I'll have to install it. So you look through in case you want to install any additional features, but I will not need any of this, so I'll leave it, and then I'll go to next, 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 and then I'll go to install. Okay, so depending your PC specifications, it's going to take some time to do the installations, so we wait till it finished the installation. Now, as we are doing the features, can we install the client OS? Yes, we can do the setup of the client OS. So let's start with the setup of the client OS with the same process. You go to new. So this side, I'm going to select client OS. I'm going to direct it to the folder that I chose. You can leave it by default in drive C. You can leave it there. You can leave it. So you select the OS for the client. So this is the OS for the client. Okay. Yeah. So it's downloading. So automatically, as I said, if your image is genuine, it's going to point the type and then the version. Okay, so let me choose the hardware. The RAM selected 1 gig is okay, and then the drive selected 40 gig. Let me make it 20 gig. Let me make it 20 gig. Okay, now we are done. Finished. Okay. As I say, if you want to change the settings, you can do it, or let me change it to bridge adapter. Okay, so now we can start. 1, 2, 3. We start. So as the our features is almost done. Our features is almost done. Yeah, it's almost done. So as this one is installing, we can also start. We've started the client installation. Yes, so that one too will finish soon. Okay, okay, so it's the same process. Let me leave everything here. The keyboard, let me choose United States. Okay, let me leave it as it is. Let me see if I can see the United States instead. Okay, this You let me leave it later. I will do that. Right. Okay. So this one, I'm going to just select Windows 8 Pro. I'll go to next, accept license, and then here I'm going to choose the custom. As we did for the first one, go to drive options, new. We are not going to partition the 20 gig. We will leave it as it is. Go to yeah, so we are done with the formatting and everything. So let's go straight to, so this one too will take less than 5 minutes. As I said, it's take less than 5 minutes. All right, so let me go to switch to the server. Okay, I think we are done. We are done with the installation. So as you can see here, now let's see the error flag. Let's see. Okay, we will do that one later. So now let me move on to the first one is the Active Directory. Let me check. Okay. I got some error here. But now let me promote the Active Directory. Let me promote it. So to do that, you click on this one ADDS here. Then you go to more. Yeah, my PC will be a little bit slower because I'm doing multitasking. You see, I'm installing the other machine too. That's the reason why I'm getting that. It's a little bit slow. So now I've gotten the promote. Let me cancel it and start over again. So I came to, we are here. After the installation of the features, you come to ADDS. Now you click on, so you see configuration required for Active Directory domain service at, so I didn't change my PC name. That's why you are seeing Windows. I can change it later. Then I click on it, and then I have to promote. So promote this server to a domain controller. Yeah, so I will click on it. So the main work starts from here. The main work starts from here. Now check the options. Add a domain controller to an existing domain. Add a new domain to an existing forest. Add a new forest. I'm sure by now we all know the meaning of forest. Okay. So since it's a new Windows, we don't have any existing domain. So we are just going to create a new one. So the forests are the, okay, so the forests are the collection of domains. Yeah, so since we don't have any domain, we have to click on add new forest. So we have to wait because I'm doing multitask. I'm installing the other machine. It's ongoing. That's the reason why. Yeah, so it has made the PC a little bit slower, but we will still use it to it has to work. Yeah. So now let's name it. So what name should I give? You can give any name, any name. So let me use nana.com. So nana.com. All right, so I'll go to next. Okay, now it's asking of the forex functional levels. So with that one, we will leave it as it is. We will leave it as it is. You leave it as it is, and then we have to type a directory service restore mode password. So please take note of this password. If possible, write it somewhere. If possible, write it somewhere. Okay, so let's type the password. Make sure you include the @ and the underscore. Okay, so once we are done, we go to next. We go to next. So we go to next, and then we wait for it to load. So he's saying that a delegation for a DNS server cannot be created because we ignore the message. We go to next. And then it will give us a NetBIOS domain name. NetBIOS domain name. Yeah. So it gave us Nana 0. So you can change it. You can change it, or this is just educational purpose. So I'll just leave it as it is. You can change it. You can choose any name. You can choose any name of your choice. Let me make it test. Then you go to next. The locations where to be installing the database and stuff, I will leave it as it is. So this will give you the summary of everything that you've done. Okay. So here it will take some time to install, so we have to wait. So it's saying that all prerequisites checks pass successfully. Click install to begin the installation. So we are going to click on install to begin with the installation. So as I said, it will take some time depending on your machine spec. Okay, let me see the other. Yeah, because I'm using the two at the go, that's why the other one is taking some time. Yeah, but if I'm doing it one, it will not take that much time. Yeah, so our client OS installation is almost done, 94%. After that, it will restart. After that, you can even click on restart and it will restart, or you wait for it to load and restart. Yeah, once it restarts, you have to do some small settings, and then it will load to the desktop. Yeah, so let's wait for it to finish. So the server is done promoting the Active Directory, and it's now restarting. So it's now restarting. So we have to wait for it to restart. So when that is done, it means that we are done with the first setup. We can now go ahead and then add a new scope, the DHCP, install the DHCP, do the configuration, and then we will be done with the server, and then we move on to the client too. So for the configuration, it's not that difficult. The only issue is the installation. So if you have a good PC, if your specifications are high, like within few minutes you are going to be done with the installations, and then you start the configuration. And the configuration too is not difficult. You just have to get the understanding of the basics, and you are good to go. Yeah. Yeah, so our client machine is restarting. It's restarting, so it means that we are done with the installation as well. We are done with the installation as well. Okay, so the machine is done booting. This is the server, so it means that we are done with the Active Directory installation, and we have successfully promoted the Active Directory. So let's log in. As I said, you can use this feature to log in. Now let's enter the password. We wait for it to load. Yeah, so we are done. We are done promoting the Active Directory. So if I go to the PC properties right now, I should see my domain name. Yeah, so this is the domain name. Domain is nana.com. That's the domain name that I set. Okay, so let's open the server manager to see what we have. Now, if I go to tools, so please take note of what we've done. After creating this, after installing the server, what we've done is that we installed some rules and features. We installed Active Directory, we installed DHCP, we installed DNS. Yes, and then we created we created we promoted the Active Directory. Yes, we've created a domain too. So let's check. So we go to tools, Active Directory users and computers to see. Yeah. So if you don't remember your domain name, you can just come to tools, and then you open Active Directory users and computers. Yes, and then you see your domain name. So here you can change the password. If you've forgotten the password, you can change it. Yeah. Okay, so when you add any user, when you add any guest account, you will see that name here. All right, so let's move ahead and then configure the DHCP. You know, we did for the Active Directory. Now let's move ahead to configure the DHCP. Okay, so we click on the DHCP, and then it says that we should complete the DHCP configuration. So we have to do the installation as well. So I will maintain the settings here. I will maintain the settings here. Okay, so it's completed and we don't have any issues. So when you check the notification side, it says that post deployment configuration, and it's saying that configuration completed for DHCP server. Yes, on this PC. So now let's go straight and then do the configuration. So again, we go to tools, and then we go to DHCP. Yeah. Okay. So we okay, so let's continue. So to set up the DHCP, we go to tools, DHCP. So I have to click on the domain. So I've clicked on my domain, then I will select the IP version 4. I'll click on the new scope. I'll click on, let me start again. So tools, DHCP. I'm at work, so if you see that I've paused, it means that I've been called to come and do something. That's why the video I've been pausing here. So I will click on this, go to select the IP version 4. So I have to add a new scope. So new scope. So I will go to next, and then I have to. So this one you can type any name. You can type any name. You can type any name of your choice. Okay, so as I said, any name of your choice. So let me say office office network. Let me use that. And then the description to any name. I can say DHCP. What do I use? DHCP scope. Let's say for client machine. Any name of your choice you can use. So let's go to next. So we will start. So it says that configure settings for DHCP server. Enter the range of addresses that the scope distributes. So let me start with 192.168. I'm using class C. Let me say 10. Yeah, so it means that my IP address range will start from 10. 192.168.0.20. So my IP address will start within 10 to 20. Yeah, and then automatically it will give you the subnet max. This is a class C subnet max. Okay, so when I'm done here, I'll just go to next, and then here too is saying that I should type the IP address range that I want to exclude. If you want to exclude a single address, type the address here. So just for educational purpose, so let's say I want to exclude, let's say 10 and then 11, 10 and 11 for the server. So 0.10 and then 192.168.0.11 maybe for the server, and then the router. So after that you go to add. After that, you go to add. Then you leave this one like that. Then you go to next. And then here is asking of the duration. So in case someone connects your network, at what time should the password expire or change? So that's the least duration. So the least duration determines how long a device can use an IP address before it must renew or release the IP. So educational purpose, let's maintain the 8 days. So we go to next, and then it's asking to yes, I want to configure these options now, asking whether we should configure it now. Yes, we want to configure it now. So here too is asking of the IP address for a router used by a client. So I'm going to use the gateway that I use for the server during the configuration. So if you check at the top here, see that you can specify the router or specific or default gateway to be distributed by the scope. So the gateway that I want to use is 192.168.1. That's the gateway that I used during the configuration when I did the configuration, the manual configuration. That's the IP address that I use. Yeah, I'm talking about this one, the gateway, this one. Yeah, so I will maintain it. Okay, so we go to add, we are done, then we go to next. So the parent domain is nana.com. So please make sure you write it somewhere. So domain name is nana.com. Domain name is nana.com. Okay, so this one I used the DNS. I use the IP address. I use the IP address, so I'm going to maintain it. And then this one is asking of the nets. So here, let me maintain the IP address, the 10. Let me add and click on continue, and it's saying that, do you want to activate the scope now? I will say yes, then finish, and I'm done. So let me check. Yeah. So see December. Okay, so per what I wanted to do, we are done, because we the only thing left now is the DNS, but then we can do the DNS configuration as well. But then let me switch to the client. Configuration and then finish. So what we are coming to do, that per what we've done now, I have to do same for the client and ping to see whether the network settings that I did actually worked. So let me switch to the client OS and then do the configuration. Mind you, the OPD, the IP address that we use for this is 192.168.0.10. So when we are setting for the client manually, the network should fall within, so that they will be able to communicate. If you use any address outside of this range, there wouldn't be any communication. So let's quickly move to the clients. Okay, so let's give it the PC name. So let's say Nana, or let me use a different name. So today, I will use express settings. I don't want to log in now, so sign in without Microsoft account. So I will use the local account. So username, let me use so our guest OS. Our guest machine is ready. I installed Windows 8. So let's quickly go to desktop. Now, if we want to configure the IP address manually, you have, as I said, you have two options. One, you can right click on the signal, open network and sharing center. When it opens, you go to Ethernet and then you click on properties. You click on properties. It's loading. Now, because of the earlier settings that we did, you see that it has picked the domain name of the server, and then it has picked the network settings. Yeah, because of the adapter changes that we did. Yeah, because of the bridge adapter, so it's now picking the IP address of the server, but we can still change it to any IP address. So you can see that it has picked 16. It has picked 16 here because it is picking 16, and it still falls within the IP address range that we gave. Remember when we were setting the server DHCP, we said it should pick from 10 to 20, and then we excluded the 10 and 11. Yeah, so the 16 still falls within, and the 16 still falls within. But let's make it static. Now it's dynamic. So let's change the settings to static IP. Okay, so to do that, you click on the Ethernet. You come to Ethernet properties, then you click on IP version 4. Now we go to use the following IP address. You can also use the command. That's you open the run box and then you type ncpa.cpl, and then so you open the Windows R to open the run button, and then ncpa.cpl to open. That one will also give you the internet properties for you to enter. So let's key in the OPD number. Yeah, so when you use the command, you'll get it like this, and then you just have to right click, and then you choose properties. You choose properties, and then you are good to do. So when you choose the properties, it will get to where we are now, that have to enter the IP address. Okay, so let's enter the IP address. So 192, I'm using class C, 192.168.0.16, and then 192.168.0.1. That's the gateway that I use. And then the DNS, I can use 192.168.0.16, and then here I can make 4.2.2.2. okay, I think I disabled the, let me enable it. Okay, you see that it's receiving. So let's try to, okay, let me enter the, so let's try to ping 192.168.0.1. Let's try to ping. Okay, so to ping, you open the run box. You can type it straight away here, ping, but I want to use the, okay, so I have to turn on so that when I ping, it will be able to access the other machine. So let me CMD. So ping 192.168.0.10. The server, I want to try to ping the server. So when I click on enter, it's supposed to receive. Good. So it means that my client machine is communicating with the server. My client machine is communicating with, mind you, the client IP is 10. The ID is 10. And then the server is 10 and the client is 16. So let me go to the server 2 and then ping the 16 and see whether it will also, well, server has logged out. Let me log in. So great. Now control CMD. Let me open the run box. Now let me ping 192.168.0.16. Okay, so let's pin it. So this is the client machine. Let's pin it to see whether it will work. Okay, so it means that it's communicating. It means that it's communicating. If you see unreachable, if yours is not coming like this, it means that you've not changed. You have to change your settings. Your discovery might be turned off. Your discovery must be turned on. So you have to allow the your discovery. You have to allow them. Other than that, when you pin, it will not work. Okay. All right. So we are done. So it means that it's communicating. Now let's promote the client machine to the domain. Let's promote the client machine to the domain. So our client machine is communicating with the server, and the server is communicating with the client machine. And we've set up the IP address as well. We've set up the IP addresses as well. Now let's promote the client to the domain. So to do that, we can use two options. The first option is to use a command. You type Windows R and then you type syx system.dm.cpl 6.dm.cpl and it's open. Let's wait for it to open. Let me check the, so 6.6dm.cpl. Okay, so it's 6dm.cpl. I think at first I made it 6.dm, that's why it didn't open. So 6dm.cpl. It will load to system properties. If you don't want to use the command to, you can click on a folder. You can click on the folder or at the control panel side, and then you right click on computer or my computer or this PC, and then you go to properties. You go to properties, and then you go to advanced system settings, and it will open the system properties for you. So once you get to system properties, you click on change. So always make sure you are on computer name. Make sure you are on computer name, and then you click on change, and then You see that our computer name is today. That's how we set, and then by default they are selected work group, but we want to move it to the domain. Yes. Okay. So let's click on domain and then add, go to, let's type the domain name. So my domain name nana.com. You click on, so if the domain is correct, it will move to the next level. If it's wrong, to load and then tell you that the domain is wrong. So let's see the outcome. Okay, now it's saying that the domain name I type is not correct. So it means I have to type the correct domain. It's not difficult to check your domain. It's not difficult to check your domain. Let me log in here okay, so it's not difficult to check the domain name. You can just come to the server manager. You go to tools, and then you search for Active Directory users and computers. It will load. Let's wait for it to load. So this is the domain name, nana.com. Nana.com is the domain name. So let me try again. So what I typed was correct, but let me try again. Okay, so let me check my settings. Mostly when this happens, it means that your DNS, there's something wrong with the DNS. You know, I set the IP address manually, but if you are doing it, it's not going to be manual. It have to obtain it automatically. So if it's obtaining it automatically, it will automatically pick from it automatically pick the details from the server. But since it's manual, yeah, I said it. So here if I'm doing it manually, then here should pick the server's DNS. Here should pick the server's IP address rather, not the client machine. So let me leave it as 10 and then go back to the server, and then now check whether I will still get the error message. Okay, so let me close all of them. Okay, so now so you go to computer name, change, then we click on domain, nana.com. Now let's see whether I will get the error message. So it's loading. Now it's asking for the server's IP and the password. So it means that the issue was at the domain side. So for the server side, if you don't want to have this challenge, just use this one, obtain IP address automatically. Yeah, I set it because in case you are told to set the IP address manually, that's why I did that. But then it should be automatic so that you can connect the machine to the domain. So let's start again. So you type the sysdm.cpl to lead you to the system properties. You select computer name, then you go to change, then I will enter nana.com, then I'll click on OK. Now it has load, so you enter your credentials. So okay, so now I entered the credentials and I'm able to log in. So once the name and the password of the domain is successful, you will see that welcome to the nana.com domain. So it means I've added this machine to the domain. So please, when you are doing the domain configuration on the server, take note of whatever name or password that you input. So the server name, take note of the domain name, and take note of the your password. Yeah, you have to take note. So in my case, the domain name, the username was test. The test here is the my domain name slash administrator. So you should type it like this, and then the password to you type the password. So it's test slash administrator. The test here is the domain name that I use. The test here is the domain name that I use. Once you type this and then you type the password correctly, you will get this screen. Welcome to the domain name, and I'll click on OK. And then you see that I have to restart my computer to apply these changes. I'll click on OK, and then I will restart now. Okay, so now when I go to the server again, when I go to the server, I should see the guest PC. I should see the PC name, part of the computers and the users. So let me check. Let it restart, and then after it has restart, done with the restart, I will check. So let's wait for it to restart. Okay, so it's done restarting. Let me check. So I go to tools, then I'll go to Active Directory users and computers. Okay, so users. So I should see my PC name. My PC is today. I should see it here. If not, then let me expand this one and go to computers. So I've seen today here. Yeah, I've seen today here. What settings again do I have to? Okay, so I think basically we are done with the configuration. So this is the user. This is the machine, the client PC. As you see here, yeah, this is the client PC. So that's it. So let me switch to the client machine. Okay, so this is a client machine. You could see that domain network, and when I go to the domain side, when I go to the domain side, okay, you see that it's inside the domain. It's inside the domain. So I think we are almost done. So, but before I go, let's try to create. OU. That's the organizational unit, and then groups. But then please don't forget, when you log in after adding the guest machine to the domain, make sure you log in. You don't use the local login. You log in using the domain. So in that case, you have to enter the server password. You have to enter the server password. If you don't enter password whilst logging, it means that you are still logging in with you are still using the local logins. Yeah, so make sure you log in using the server, the domain, using the domain. Yeah, so okay, so this is what I was talking about. So you could see we have two accounts here. The first one is the domain, and then we have the other. The other user is the local. So if you click on this one, it means that you are logging in using the local account. This one is the domain. This one is the domain. So this one will require you to enter the domain password. Okay, so we've set up the Active Directory, we've promoted it, we've configured the DHCP. We didn't do the DNS, but the settings that we wanted to do is working. We wanted to add the guest machine to the domain, which we've done that, so I don't have to do any other settings again. So when you log in, when you install the server, first thing that you have to do is to install the rules and features. After that, you promote the Active Directory. After promoting it, you set up the DHCP. After setting up the DHCP, you add the client to the domain. So that's what we've done so far. So we are done. The next thing is to create. The next thing is to create OU and then some groups. So the organizational structure contains the organizing users. So which are the computers and other objects within the domain. So we can also set policy and we can also delegate. So let's try that one and see. So you go to tools and then you go to Active Directory users and computers. Okay, so you stand on the domain and then you go to new, then you go to we are creating OU, which is the organizational unit. So there's it, organizational unit. So you have to click on it and then you give it a name. So in this case, I will type ICT class. Okay, so I will click on OK. Okay, so now we've created the OU, organizational unit. Now we can now move some of the computers to the ICT class. You can now move some of the computers to the ICT class. So to do that, you can easily go to stand on the domain computers and then you go to move. So when you click on move, you've seen that under the domain and the ICT class is there. So right now, when I click on OK, it will move the other guest to the ICT class. So this is the other computer. This is the other computer. Yes. So now we can now create some policies. We can now create some policies. And to do that, we go to tools again, and then we go to group policy management. So just click on group policy management, and then you see that you've seen the ICT class here. So we will right click it, and then we go to link an existing GPO. So we have to, and then we click on defaults, use the default one. Okay, we are done. So now we can edit. So we click on enforce so that whatever we edit, it will take effect in the client or the guest PC. So we go to edit. So here we can say that, okay, any user in the domain or any user in the group shouldn't be able to change his or her computer's background, or any policy that comes to mind, you can do it. So Windows, we go to administrative template, and then we go to desktop. You see all the settings. You can see all the settings. So let's go through it and say so one is remove recycle bin icon from desktop. So you double click it and then you enable it. Once you enable it, you click on OK and it will take effect. And then hide Internet Explorer icon on desktop, remove computer icon on desktop. You can do others. Just click on enable, whatever. So you can play along with this. Yeah, you can play along with this. So that is it for. So you can a number of create a number of OUs and groups, and then you set policies. Set policies. All right. I think basically that's what we're told to do. In case I have to update this, I have to update our update. Yeah. So please take notes. Take notes. Take note to log in. This is the guest PC that we added to the domain. Take note that when you are logging in, you use the domain account instead of the local account. Yeah. So we are done.